Coach Larsen, a disappointing Monday, obviously, falling into the hands of Western Wyoming. Can you just give me a bit of insight on your thoughts on the game?
You know, we knew going in that it was, I mean, they're the #1 team in our conference right now, and we knew going in it was going to be an absolute dogfight. You know, I thought we did a good job of battling for most of the game. And, you know, we knew we got up a little bit early on. We knew they were going to make their run. And, you know, it was one of those things where the game kind of rewarded who the aggressor was. And just as the ebbs and flows kind of went, you know, they became a little bit, they were more of the aggressor towards the end of the game than we were when we really needed to dig in and get those stops. And I think we ran out of gas a little bit.
Yeah, and as you rightly say, you know, in the first quarter you caused a lot of problems for Western Wyoming. You know, defensively, you were very solid, and they were struggling to find ways to actually break you open. What kind of positives can you take away from this game?
You know, a couple of things. You know, Sierra Eddy last year as a freshman was the conference's All-American, and you know, we did as a team. You know, especially Yaitha and Allie. You know, they did a phenomenal job of shutting her down. I think she finished with 4 points and 1 of 10 shooting. And, you know, we did a really good job focusing in on the one player that is their top girl. But, you know, that's a deep team, and they're really good. And, you know, some of the positives is just, again, like we've shown that we can play at any given moment with anybody. You know, last night it was Casper coming back after digging ourselves a hole, and tonight it was just a game of runs. And you know, those are the 2 top teams in our conference, and we've showed that we can play with them. And so we just got to figure out a way to make it more consistent and stay the course.
Tonight's game, we saw a lot of driving towards the rim and a lot of close finishing. Is that a priority for your offense?
Yes and no. You know, we try to in practice work on just different reads and things like that. A lot of it's just dictated how the game is going. You know, a lot of it is dictated towards where our advantage is in different situations. You know, Western Wyoming is a team that isn't very big in terms of size. They like to spread you out, play 4 or 5 guards. And that's not right now our game. We have some really strong inside players, and so the more we can attack the rim and you know, use our post players as we can, you know, we kind of feel that's where our advantage is, because that really frees up our shooters. And you know, last weekend we played the same style. We just hit a lot of threes last weekend because they tried to collapse, and we were in rhythm. And you know, the last couple nights we haven't shot the ball as well, but you know, we're still shooting over 40% per game, and just got to find a way to pull it out.
Yeah. And just want to get your aspects on the momentum shift that we saw in that third quarter. As you rightly said, it was quite an aggressive game, and the Mustangs definitely made their way back in that third quarter. What do you think you can take away from that third quarter and towards that end of the game where we slightly ran out of energy?
You know, it's hard to, when you have a team that good that plays the style that they play, you know, you're never going to keep a team down. So even when we built that 11-point lead, that's not a lead that's going to stay. Like, nobody is going to just run away from Western Wyoming. They're a really talented team that shoots the 3 ball. You know, you can kind of liken them to almost the Golden State Warriors from years ago, when you never really could get away from them because the way they shoot the ball so well. And you know, 11 points in their mind is 3 possessions, and all right, we're tied up again. And so, you know, it's one of those things that you can take from that third quarter of just the game of runs, and how do we respond when they make a run? How can we weather the storm a little bit? We can work on our execution a little bit more, just so that we match that level of aggression and that physicality as we go through.
And lastly, Coach, I just want to ask you, in terms of your preparation for the next game, the next game you've got is obviously away from home. How are you feeling about that?
You know, it's always interesting because we just hit the turn. So, you know, we've seen everybody in our conference once already, and now we get to see them again. And now we have to go to Northwest and to Central, where, you know, we beat them when they were here. But you know, they're gonna be hungry for wins, and a little bit of revenge. So, you know, the prep is just gonna be that, like making sure that we're on our details, making sure that we understand our game plan of, you know, what worked the first time, and just kind of try and dissect where we might find some adjustments that they might make, and whether they'll play a little zone or whether they're going to try and trap a little bit more, just to try and pressure us into playing a little too fast. We try to prepare and make sure that we're ready to handle that stuff.
Coach Larsen, thank you very much.
Appreciate
for your
you.
time.
Thank you.